Hi, Dr. Lowe. So this is my communication book for my client, Mr. Allen. Sorry. This is the front cover there. We'll zoom in so you can see it. And I chose this bright green because, I figured a lot of us have white and black binders at home. So I thought this bright green would be easy for him to find and easy for his caretakers to find. So Mr. Allen is 70 years old. He had a stroke 6 years ago. He has severe apraxia and moderate broken aphasia, and he's paralyzed on his right side. So when I was putting this together, taking into account that his normal, fancy machine would be broken, I thought, based on his age, I wanted something that would be easy for him to use. So I used a combination of pictures and words. But if he wanted to have a little bit more in-depth conversation, he could with using his core and French vocabulary. So, and you also see that I did include a little handle there for him to carry it. So, and I also want to show that it is tabbed, or it's divided. I have dividers that are labeled there at the bottom there. So the very first thing I did was I thought, it would be nice just to include a table of contents page. Not only for Mr. Allen, but also for anybody else that takes a look at the book. And it's just very basic. It just has in here all of the boards that are included in his communication book. So the very next thing I included was just a simple spelling board. And he could use this to type out just very short, words if he wanted to, or just a very short phrase. And you will see at the bottom there, it has a yes and no button. It also has a I need help button, there it is, or that's not what I meant button. So he could also use that for very quick communication. The next thing I included was just a basic info about me page, because he likes to go to his clubhouse and socialize there. I thought, well, what if there's somebody there that doesn't know him, and he doesn't know, and he wants to introduce himself? Well, this is just a quick little introduction. And you'll see on the side here I have these little buttons, and they say I am or have, I need my, I had, I do not. That's what those buttons say. Hope you can see that. And so he could say, I need my glasses, or I am a diabetic, or I have high blood pressure, I need my medication, I am non-speaking, I had a stroke, I need my wheelchair. And I also included short phrases. And the phrases just say, I have 4 grandkids, I have 2 sons, I'm not married, I don't write so well because of my right side paralysis. Basic info about me page. I also included a medical page. Just a quick medical page. And again, I thought I put this together with his age in mind, that he may not always want to be able to have to type out phrases or point out phrases using his core and French vocabulary. So here I have buttons again, right there, and those buttons say I have, please call or check, and I need. So he could say, please check my blood sugar, because he's also a diabetic. I need my glasses. Please call the doctor. I need my medication. And at the bottom here, I have a little phone with the numbers here. And so he could really just point out or type out, in a sense, someone's phone number if he needed, maybe one of his sons to be called. So just a basic medical page. The next thing I included was a morning grooming schedule. Just very basic again. And it says first, then, and then morning grooming schedule. Now, I've never done this before, but I thought, well, maybe I could try to just combine the two of those into one board. And so you'll see, if I can get it there, where it says, here, first thing I do is I get my toothpaste, and then I brush my teeth. And then I take a bath, and then I dry myself off with a towel. And then I get dressed, and I have my breakfast. So this would just be his basic morning grooming schedule. Say for instance, if his regular home health aide can't come that morning and help him out, she would know this is what he does every morning. Or, you know, it could also be used for someone else in the family. The next board I included was the home health aide or caretaker board. Let's see if I can get this lined up. And there's quite a bit of information on there. Again, I have the two buttons on the side, and they say please and I need to. So he can say please wash the dishes, or please make my bed, or please loosen my watch, or please give me a bath, or please zip or unzip my jacket, or I need to gargle. So just a quick little board for his home health aide or his caretaker, especially if he does not have, you know, maybe one day he has a different home health aide or someone different taking care of him that day. The next board I included, just again very quick, again I'm just trying to keep in mind his age, and he may not want to go to his core and fringe vocabulary and type anything out. You know, maybe he, especially late in the day when he's tired, and it, you know, it would be just easier for him just to go to the pictures and communicate. This is a basic I want board, an I want feeding and communication board, so he can say, I want a banana, I want a piece of cake, I want an egg, I want some chicken, I want my hat, I want my shirt, I want my pants, I want an iron. So just a basic I want feeding / communication board. The next board I included was a feelings board. Again, just very quick. There are no buttons included on this one because he can just point to the picture and say, I'm afraid, I'm bored, I'm cold, I'm confused, I'm sad, I'm sick. Just something very, very, very quick. And most likely if he's having any of these feelings, he probably doesn't want to do too much typing anything out with using his core and French vocabulary anyway. So that's why I included it. Again, here's an emotional board. Now this one though, I did include the buttons on this one. You can see those. Yes and no, and I am and I am not. That's what I included on that one. So he can say, I am not afraid, I am angry, I am happy, I am hurt, I'm worried, I need to pray, or I need clergy, I'm confused, or yes, I'm afraid, no, I'm angry, no, I'm sad. Just a quick emotional board. The next board I included is again a physical board. But I have buttons on this one, yes and no, and I feel and I have. That's what those buttons are, right there. I feel and I have. So, you can say, I have to vomit, I feel cold, I feel hot, I itch, I have a headache, I have a toothache, or yes, I'm sick, or yes, I have a stomach ache, or yes, I'm exhausted. So just a quick kind of board that deals with all of his physical things, anything that's physical. The next board I included was just quickly about his social activities. So on this one I have buttons again, and they say I like to, my favorite I do not like. So he could say, my favorite is fishing, or I do not like baseball, I do not like basketball. There are also a couple of phrases on here that says fishing, fishing scrapbook. That's what that is right there. Fishing scrapbook and tell stories. So he could say, my favorite is telling stories about fishing, and he could use the buttons and the pictures and say that. So just a social activity, just very quick board for that. So now we get to the core and fringe vocabulary, and I read that you could include your core and fringe vocabulary on one page, and so that's what I tried to do in putting this together. I also read that you have to keep the core and fringe vocabulary static on the page, that it can't move around. So I kept that in mind when I created this, and I also used the modified Fitzgerald key in putting this together. So I thought this was really neat because he could really use this to type out short phrases. So for instance, he could say, I was at the grocery store, or I was at the bank, I was at the pharmacy, I was at the library. Hope you can see those. I also read, though, that you should add in extra, because things can't move around on these boards with the core and fringe vocabulary, that you should have extra spaces in, so you could add in more phrases or core vocabulary. And what I did was I used just the first 100 core vocabulary words, and then I used the fringe vocabulary I used was activities and hobbies, appointments, feelings, conversational topics, errands. On the next page of core vocabulary, you will see where, if I can get it lined up, I added in boxes, extra boxes, so I could add in more information as needed, more phrase, more fringe vocabulary, more both core vocabulary as needed. And so here again, he could say, she said, we were asking questions of our family history. And so he can type out that message using this board. And I have the arrow buttons at the top so he could go back and forth between the core and fringe vocabulary boards. And here again, I have another one, and you will see that I have the extra boxes on here, so we could add, I can add in additional information if needed. And again, adding in additional information if needed. Again, thank you, Dr. Lowe, for allowing us to do this. I'd never done anything like this before. It really was an eye-opener for me, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.